Hi there, I'm Chris McKinnon with the WBZ News Update. A nor'easter is heading our way, and residents in flood-prone areas along the coast are being told to get out. Scituate, Marshfield, and Duxbury are urging people to evacuate before the storm hits. It'll bring high tides, whipping winds, and driving rain. The police chief in Scituate is asking anyone who lives in low-lying areas to evacuate by 9 o'clock Friday morning. A wild night in Chelmsford. It all started when a tractor-trailer jackknifed on 495 South around 7:30. Police say the driver of one of the cars involved, 42-year-old Marcos Garcia, used a hatchet to carjack another vehicle. He took off, hitting two other cars before crashing in Littleton. Officers say he then tried to carjack two more people. Police tased him and took him to the hospital. He is now in police custody. The Red Sox making it official, filing a petition with the city of Boston to change the name of Yawkey Way. They want to return it to its original name, Jersey Street. Last summer, Sox owner John Henry voiced his support for the move, saying he's haunted by the history of racism tied to former Sox owner Tom Yawkey. Yawkey was the last major league owner to integrate his team. A hearing on the name change is set for March 15th. Now I want to check in with meteorologist Danielle Niles, who is tracking that nor'easter heading our way. Danielle?
High-impact event, Chris. The quiet ahead of the storm today with sunshine and increasing clouds. Temperatures well into the 50s to around 60 again this afternoon. It's this evening and tonight that rain arrives. This is the map after midnight. Notice the rain moving in. Could be a touch of some wintry mix in the high terrain of Worcester County and the Berkshires before changing over. It is going to rain and rain hard for the morning commute. Expect slow areas, continued downpours for late morning right on through the afternoon, localized flooding results. And then we start to see a changeover, mixing with some wet snowflakes outside of 495 in the Worcester Hills by tomorrow evening. And that rain snow line is going to expand east and eventually down to Cape Cod tomorrow evening and night. By the time we get to early on Saturday morning, most of the precipitation is going to be done, just a lingering rain or snow shower on the Cape, and then clouds remain. There may be a sprinkle or a flurry here at the coastline, but the bulk of the precipitation falls tomorrow during the day and into the overnight period. Flood watch is up. Rainfall totals 1 to 3 inches with locally higher amounts. Think the low-lying areas, hydroplaning, big puddles on the roads. This is the freshwater flooding. Some small rivers and streams may come close to coming out of their banks and rise rapidly tomorrow with the heaviest rain that comes in. Snow accumulation is the most uncertain part in the forecast. We're going to have to stay tuned to updates here. It really depends on when we make that changeover. The snow consistency will be wet and pasty. So with the high terrain inland, if we see some of these higher totals, that would up the risk of some outages because that snow is going to weigh down on the trees and power lines. So 6 or more inches possible with elevation. That's the key here. The Worcester Hills and the Berkshires could be 3 to 6 along 495, and then just an inch or two, maybe as much as 3 in eastern Massachusetts. Again, that's the thing to watch closely here over the next 24 hours. The wind, we're talking about gusts 55 to 75 miles per hour at the coastline here. Strongest wind on Cape Cod. The strongest wind, it's going to be a pretty long event here in terms of strong wind gusts, but the very strongest gusts should come in tomorrow during the afternoon and evening and linger into very early Saturday morning. Some gusts inland may top out near 55 miles per hour too. So some scattered pockets of wind damage will result across southern New England. Coastline going to bear the brunt of this with a surge 2 to 4 feet and moderate to major coastal flooding for multiple tide cycles here. Starting for tomorrow midday high tide, the overnight high tide into Saturday, Saturday midday high tide as well, and then there will likely still be some flooding, Chris, on Sunday, although it should be minor to moderate at that point. So this is a long duration event to keep an eye on.
All right, thank you very much, Danielle. I appreciate it. I'm Chris McKinnon. This has been a WBZ News Update. Have a great day.